Namaskar, good evening. You're watching Nation Wants to Know and I'm Swati Joshi. Now, on the 13th of March, Muslim groups led by All India Muslim Personal Law Board have decided to congregate and protest in the national capital against the Waqf Amendment Bill. They are calling this protest Chalo Jantar Mantar. Over the last few days, Muslim bodies have been holding meetings and rallies to voice their opposition to the Waqf Amendment Bill. The Modi government also wants to push through with the bill which has been cleared by the JPC. But in the midst of the budget session of Parliament, the Waqf fear-mongering continues unabated. Umar Khalid's father and spokesperson of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board says that if the Waqf Amendment Bill is implemented, the entire country will be turned to Shaheen Bagh. That's not it. Jamiat Ulema-e-Hind's Arshad Madani, who is backing AIM-PLB's protest call, has said that any law that interferes with Shariat will not be tolerated, and it doesn't end with Shaheen Bagh and Shariat mention. Another Shia cleric, Kalbe Jawad, spliced in the Mandir angle. Kalbe Jawad says Waqf and Waqf properties won't make the economy strong. It's the Mandirs that have the gold and the money. The Shia cleric added that there are more than 5 lakh Hindu temples with thousands of tons of gold. This gold should be taken and distributed to the poor. Are these comments strengthening the spirit of our Samvidhan? Listen in.
कि अगर ये बिल मंजूर हो गया तो हम देशव्यापी अभियान छेड़ेंगे और मेरे नजदीक शाहीन बाग भी एक पीसफुल और डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन था तो उसमें कोई गलत बात नहीं थी। अगर आप शाहीन बाग समझते हो तो शाहीन बाग समझिए, लेकिन हम तो देशव्यापी अभियान छेड़ने की बात कर रहे हैं।
इस वक्त 5 लाख से ज्यादा मंदिर हिंदुओं के हैं जिसमें कई हजार टन सोना है। सिर्फ एक मंदिर से 400 किलो सोना चोरी हुआ था। तुम छोटे छोटे औकात से मदद करोगे, ये हजारों टन सोना बाहर निकालो और निर्धन हिंदुओं में बांटो उसको।
लगता है कि गैर जमहूरी पार्टियां जो दस्तूर के खिलाफ हैं वो इस पर लगी हुई हैं कि खास तरीके पर मुस्लिम अक़लियत को यहाँ आज़ादी के साथ मजहब पर भरोसा करते हुए जिंदा न रहने दिया जाए। मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ बोर्ड ने 13 मार्च को दिल्ली के जंतर मंतर पर एक पुरजोर एहतजाज का एहतमाम किया जाए।
So you heard the kind of statements that are coming in. Shaheen Bagh-like protest threat is now coming to fore. We also have a reaction coming in from Congress leader Rashid Alvi, who in fact has a suggestion for the Muslim bodies who are planning the Chalo Jantar Mantar protest. Rashid Alvi says that they should block the roads, drawing the farmer protest example, and when we confronted him, he stood by his call. He further stated that there's nothing wrong with blocking the roads and the protest should be peaceful. Listen to what he said earlier and then after the confrontation.
देखिए, उन्हें बजाय ये कहने की कि हम पूरे मुल्क में शाहीन बाग जैसा प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे, थोड़ी तब्दीली कर लेनी चाहिए। प्रोटेस्ट करना उनका हक है, सबका हक है। अब देश के अंदर लोकतंत्र है, चाहे वो नाम ही का लोकतंत्र है, लेकिन संविधान हक देता है कि प्रोटेस्ट कर सके। उन्हें कहना चाहिए कि जिस तरीके से देश के अंदर हमारे किसान भाइयों ने प्रोटेस्ट किया था, 2-2 साल सड़कें बंद रखी थी, 2-2 साल सड़कों पर धरना दिया था, कहें कि किसानों की तरह का प्रोटेस्ट। There should be peaceful protest. Shaheen Bagh was peaceful protest. Farmers protest was also peaceful protest. Why did not government go there to talk to Shaheen Bagh leaders? Why? What was? They are not the citizens of this country. Government of India should have sent their representatives to talk to them to solve the problem. They didn't. So, problem is, it is not the problem that a road was closed.
So there are these advices and suggestions coming in from Congress leaders as well that protests like the farmers block the road for 2 years. And let's also tell you what is the Shaheen Bagh ka such. Remember what the police told the court. since these threats are coming to fore that there'll be a Shaheen Bagh-like protest in case the Waqf Amendment Bill is implemented, let's take a look at what was the police's stand on this. Revelation number 1, Shaheen Bagh, no Nani Dadi protest as it was being projected. Revelation number 2, Nani Dadi protest tag was just a facade and there was violence. There was actual plan to incite violence. This is what the Delhi police told the High Court in Jan 2025. Revelation number 4, Shaheen Bagh wasn't organic protest. It was not organic. It was not a Nani Dadi protest. Artificial protest executed by Sharjeel. This is what the Delhi police has told the High Court about the Shaheen Bagh protest. Let's, before opening up the debate and going across to our guests, tell you about the question that we are asking. Let's remind you that you can have your say, you can register your vote. The question that we are asking is this Shaheen Bagh type Waqf protest threat constitutional? We've opened the polling. Go on X, social media platform X, and register your vote. We'll tell you what the result is right after the debate. Let's open up the debate now and let's go across to our guests. We're joined by Shazia Ilmi of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have Sushil Pandit, activist, Akash Deep Muni, Professor Atikur Rahman and Khalikur Rahman, political analyst on the broadcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Good evening to all of you. Khalikur Rahman ji, Shaheen Bagh like protest?
Yeah, good evening. In fact, because it is the fundamental right of every citizen to protest, but the protest has to be peaceful and has to be done in a constitutional manner. So as long as it is done in that manner, I think, there should not be any kind of objection to anyone. And, now coming to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024, in fact, from the day one, the amendments were proposed. There was a protest in the country, and there was a huge opposition, for, not only from the Muslim institutions, but from, various other political parties too. Even we, our party also, the Congress party also, in fact, have opposed, the proposed amendments there. But in spite of that, in the manner in which the JPC was held,
the statements that are coming to fore? Should it be a Shaheen Bagh-like protest? Should there be a blockade of roads for 2 years? Do you agree with the statements that are coming to fore that if in case it's implemented, then there will be a consequence to that? Do you agree when it's said that there are Hindu temples that have tons and tons of thousands of gold? Take that money and give to poor.
No, see. As far the protest is concerned, I have already said, as long as the protest is constitutional, as long as it is peaceful, so there should not be any kind of objection to anyone, in fact, because that, the democratic and the fundamental right of every citizen. And now coming to Shaheen Bagh, in fact, because has witnessed a peaceful protest. It was a different thing that, the government tried to disturb that and incite. So that is where there was some kind of
made to inflame passions were made by the government.
But no threat can be given. But
right. So are you saying that there should be no fear mongering? Nobody is objecting that there should be no protest, that people are not allowed to protest, because that's a right that individuals have. But do you say that there should be no fear mongering? That whatever is happening in terms of the statements that are coming to fore are provocative in nature?
No. See, no provocative statement, can be, given and should not be given and should not be encouraged also, I think. And no threat also can be given, actually. So that's the reason, because whatever, an appeal can be made for a protest. But, you can't give a
Alright, so Khalikur Rahman is saying the protest can take place as long as it's peaceful. Shazia Ilmi, there are suggestions coming in from leaders of the Congress party like Rashid Alvi, who's saying, जैसे farmers ने किया था वैसे protest करो. Why don't you go ahead and block the roads?
First of all, I find it really ironic that here the bill that the act that is being proposed and the amendments are actually working for the welfare of the Muslim community, especially those who are extremely poor, who strangely and surprisingly have not benefited at all. Now, Waqf board lands, they are the biggest landowners and Muslims are the poorest. So instead of answering to the poor Muslims, to the poor Muslim widows, to the children, instead of answering them and apologizing to them and actually seeking amendment, and in the name of Allah, in the name of Waqf, in the name of justice, in the name of Waqf, which is a whole maqsad, instead of doing that, they want to work against the interests of the Muslim community. What did they do in Shaheen Bagh? They actually did fear-mongering, scared poor Muslims, and what did they do? They said, you'll be rendered stateless. They knew very well how devious and evil of them and how anti-Muslim of them. They're anti-Indians, we know that. That they're anti-Hindu, we know that. But how anti-Muslim of them to waylay Muslims and say that your land will be taken, you'll be rendered landless, homeless, stateless, knowing very well that CA had nothing to do with Muslims. This bill, everybody knows, is actually against the mafia that runs Waqf board, which actually prevents poor Muslims from getting insaf and getting anything from it. But look how devious and cruel and anti-Islam these people are, especially the poor Muslims and those who are deserving of the Waqf largesse.
So Shahzial is saying, Professor Atikur Rahman, Shahzial is saying, like the fear-mongering and the misleading that happened during...
You have to listen.
Okay, finish your point.
Listen to me. You'll have to listen. Let me finish, please. This is only fear-mongering. Anybody who knows anything about Waqf, who knows the idea of Awqaf, knows very well that the Waqf board have nothing to do with justice. If they had anything to do with it, Muslims would not be the poorest in the country.
Okay, Muslims would not be the poorest if had to do anything with... All right, let me take a response from Professor Atikur Rahman. So then all those who are opposing, are they acting against the interest of Muslims is the question Shahzial is asking. She's also alleging, just like the fear-mongering that happened and the way people were misled during CAA, it was said that, you know, people from other countries are going to be given the citizenship or aapki chheen li jayegi. Aisa to kuch nahi hua. Is there a pattern to the provocation which is happening even on this issue?
Good, Shazia, good. I want to believe you today. I want to believe you 100% what you are saying, that this particular amendment in the Waqf Act will be bringing all the, good things to the Muslim community, the widows, and the poverty of the Muslims will be removed. I just want to say one thing then, Shazia ji. As you have done in the UCC, a UCC for Uttarakhand, a UCC for Gujarat, state-wise you are going, in one particular state, only in Delhi, you implement this particular idea of a Waqf Amendment Bill and create a hospital, a school for the Muslim community, and then you go throughout India. I believe you, come on, that the Muslims have, done all the corruption in the Waqf this thing. I believe in the government, and that's why, Swati, I had told earlier that if government is very much clean on this particular Waqf Amendment Bill, they can build bridges between the Muslims and the government, the BJP. But one particular clause, Shazia ji, that if you cannot prove within 2 months or 3 months the time limit is given, the complete
But Professor Sahab, allow it to happen first. Even before that is happening, Sushil Pandit ji, there are these statements being given. There's a threat ki Shaheen Bagh jaisa protest hoga. How do you expect then in that case that there will be cooperation with the government? And these complaints have also come in from within the community that there's ghaplebazi happening or there's corruption happening, there's misuse of land which is happening. Are those people also anti-Shariat?
Namaskar to all and thank you for having me on the show, Swati. The issue is not for a moment the merits and demerits of this issue, the Waqf Act or Waqf Amendment Bill. I live on Mathura Road, which is a close distance from where Shaheen Bagh took place. I know how peaceful Shaheen Bagh was. A day before Shaheen Bagh protest started, 5 DTC buses, brand new DTC buses, were set ablaze with passengers still in, and stone pelting happened. Only when the boys were rounded up, that Shaheen Bagh, precursor of Shaheen Bagh protest was, please release our beguna bete. That is how it started. And then people came and said, no, you are not sitting here for the release of your boys, you are sitting here against the Citizenship Amendment Act, and that is how this protest, this dharna was converted into a protest against CAA, not for the release of the boys. That's how it started. It started with violence. And two, you think peacefully blocking a road and bringing an entire city to its knees, where people have to crawl to reach to their offices and hospitals, is peaceful? Is justified? To hell with this kind of peace. And the problem is, because the government gave a long rope to Shaheen Bagh protest, it carried on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the city was brought to its knees. That farmers got inspired and they blockaded the city.
All right.
Now this Tweedledee and Tweedledum feeding into each other.
Okay.
Shaheen Bagh says farmers protest. Farmers say we learn from Shaheen Bagh.
And now there are statements being issued that there will be a Shaheen Bagh like protest. But Akash Deep Muni, yes, you have a right to protest, but that does not mean you can undermine someone else's right.
Swati ji, when in Jammu, BJP was protesting against the arrest of a rapist, child rapist, you have reported it. So that time Sushil Pandit was quiet. But today he has a problem with protesting. I will go on the merits.
But he's also questioning the government. He's saying that the government allowed it to go on and on for so long that it eventually became a menace for everyone.
Today that is this Jai Samvidhan? Yes, this is Jai Samvidhan. Because in Article 26, it has been clearly written that particular religious communities can manage and manage their own properties. In this case, they are doing it. By the amendment, it is not done. I want to tell you that after this amendment, the Central Waqf Council will have 21 members, from which 11 can be non-Muslims. Can this happen in Hindu temples? No. In JPC, 30 members were there, only 7 were Muslims. The chairman, Jagdima Pal, was not a Muslim. Now, I am not going into the thing that this is Muslim or not Muslim.
Okay.
This is not about it. These people will come after you also.
Let me bring in Shazi Almi. Quick rebuttal. Okay, quick rebuttal from Shazi Almi. 1 second, Mr. Muni, allow Shazi to comment now. You've raised multiple points and you've leveled some allegations.
Swati, it can't be.
Go ahead.
Swati, give me 10 seconds.
No, allow Shazi to comment
before I
wrap up,
rebuttal, because I want to tell you what happened in 95.
Swati, I want to tell
So how unlimited powers have been given to Waqf Board, and Waqf tribunals, actually the verdicts and the judgments of Waqf Board are binding. There can be no redressal whatsoever. Do you know they cannot be challenged in any court of law? That is what Narasimha Rao government did, which is a matter of shame. And not just that, there's so many Muslim petitioners and litigators. Now all of them are crying foul. All of them, their hearts bleed for Muslims. They're using poor Muslims, throwing them out there. Protest karo, tumhare saath na insafi ho rahi hai. But do you know something? Swati, ask them this question, and it's my challenge here. And you know, there are many rozedars, fellow rozedars, and tell them to speak the truth. Kam se kam is mahine mein Allah jhoot na bulaye. Ask them so much property. The largest landowners, one medical college, one hospital, one school for children, talaq yafta sisters of ours, how much have they done for the poor? You know, the whole idea of Waqf is insaf. It is for the poor. But the poor Muslims have been
you're saying the poor Muslims have been cheated. You're saying the poor Muslims have been cheated and the reform is going to benefit them. Whereas there are those who are issuing statements saying that if in case the Waqf Amendment Bill is implemented, there will be a Shaheen Bagh-like protest. Sushil Pandit, Shazia Ilmi, Mr. Muni, Atikur Rahman and Khalikur Rahman, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. And before we wrap up this edition, let's in fact take a look at the poll results. And this is the question we asked. Is Shaheen Bagh-like stir threat constitutional? 32.3% people say yes, it's constitutional, but 67% people say no, such a threat that there'll be a Shaheen Bagh type protest is not constitutional. And with that, we are wrapping up this edition of Nation Wants to Know. Quick break, lot more lined up for you.